RV Daydream, what you doing? Yeah, I'm actually uploading an RV Daydream, what you doing, but as you can tell, sometimes it takes a few days for those to actually show up, and this is the beginning of the next one, so it'll probably be 2 weeks from now before you see this. However, oh, we got music going on. Hold on. Everybody close your ears. Don't listen to this. Oh my God. Woo, copyright infringement. Oh, that would have been horrible.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream. I had to show you though, man, I can't believe how beautiful today is. Now you guys know I like it really hot and really humid. However, I still appreciate the days that it's not humid, and we have really low dew points, and it's like 77 degrees, 78 degrees out. Yeah, this is unbelievable. I really can enjoy the days that you know, I can actually do a lot of work and not get too sweaty. I should open up the RV and let some air circulate through there, because it'll definitely knock down the humidity, whatever may be in there. But yeah, I thought I would just start this little RV Daydream, what you doing, with just a beautiful share of this day. Of course, I'm checking out some libations here, and it's Friday, and I'm just waiting for Heidi to get off work. Well, that, and of course what I just said, editing videos. I just posted a video about that little Sportsman generator. I run the crap out of it and got it to overload a couple times. That was fun. And yeah, I don't know what else I have to edit. Oh yeah, we had a sit down. You guys obviously have already seen that video by now, but yeah, we did a sit down and we talked about Q&A stuff. That's basically a Q&A. So that's going to close it out. Oh, I did want to give you an update. Our son, he's still out and about. As of right now, you know, as I'm shooting this, maybe he'll be back by the time this thing gets posted. But yeah, it's kind of cool. He's having a good time. I do feel really bad though, because we forgot one major repair that the van needed, and that was when Heidi and I went to get married in the van. We took the van to get married. Again, like I said, if you guys haven't seen that video, the reason we did that was we thought, you know, the first time when we got married, we drove to the place that we got married at in an 80s Ford. So we thought it'd be only appropriate to drive an 80s Ford over there again. So we drove our son's van. And if you haven't watched that video, it was really cool. It's a drive, a sign and drive type thing. you just drive in, you don't even have to get out of your vehicle, and you get married. And on the way back, I noticed if I came to a complete dead stop and I accelerated kind of hard, that the van made a squeaking noise. And I actually figured out that it needed a U-joint, at least one U-joint. And we never fixed that, so our son's traveling all over the place. And he needs U-joints for his van, so I told him, you know, he's got AAA. You know, we have AAA Premier, so he could actually almost get towed home. I mean, he you know, they give you 4 200-mile tows, so if he gets within 200 miles of home, I told him just call AAA and have them tow you all the way home. We'll take care of it after you get home. So yeah. Anyways, that's what's going on, and that's what I'm doing. Yeah, what a surprise. It's the next day and I'm video editing. I'm not shocked in the least, because this is what I get to do most of the time. But I just wanted to say hi, good morning, and this is RV Daydream, what you doing? Let's see what we can get into. Oh, look at this, a new day, and it's beautiful sunshine again. RV Daydream, what you doing? I'll tell you what I'm doing. Enjoying this day, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know, it's still only about 10 in the morning, but man, is it wall-to-wall sunshine. Okay, oh, there's a cloud. Okay, there's clouds over there. I was gonna say, I don't even see any clouds. It's Sunday, Heidi had to work today, and look, Heidi and I was sitting on the porch just relaxing. It must have been about, I don't know, 9 o'clock last night. As I was sitting on the porch, I told Heidi, I said, "Oh, that kind of looks like Bud's van coming down the hill." And as it made the corner, I told her, I said, "Hell, that sounds like Buddy's van." And I said, "You know why? Because it is Buddy's van." So anyways, he came in from Chicago yesterday. He just drove straight through. He said it was a nice, easy drive. And he said, man, he says, traffic in Chicago. It's like, yeah, no kidding. So yeah, he's back. He's going to be here for a little while. And maybe we can get those U-joints taken care of that I was talking about. I feel real bad that he didn't get this taken care of, but yeah, his van looks good, other than bugs and stuff. He was scared to death that he was going to run his battery dead. And I said, how was it staying in your van? Well, he stayed in the van just a few nights. And he said, he says it was really rough. It was hot, and he was scared. He was afraid to run his fan until, you know, like all night long to keep him cool. And I said, don't worry about it. I said, you know, it ain't gonna hurt. And I see that he got in an accident. Wonder what he bumped into. Do you guys see what I'm seeing? Yeah, he hit something with his rear bumper, or somebody hit him. I was kind of curious here. Yeah, look, that's a new dent. The body panel separated, and his bumper's pushed in. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask him about that. See, the problem is, it could be because the tire, the spare tire now, is blocking the camera view. I wonder if he didn't see something in the camera and hit it. And also, he's gonna have to be careful because he's gonna have a luggage rack back here, his cargo carrier holding his generator and everything. So yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him about that and ask him what happened. So I'm getting ready to shoot a video for you guys. I got to turn the truck around. Man, is it filthy. Tomorrow I got to take this to Ford for this little problem. Can you see that water line? Yeah, that's what I said. It's a water line. Let me see if I can. Look at that. So I called the Ford dealer and they said, yeah, you got to bring it in, you know, so we can submit that warranty. So hell, how could it, you know, what do you have to do? I hope you have the freaking light in stock. If not, I'll be driving back and forth for nothing. So what's the project? Stable load, stainless steel stable load. I'll be doing an installation video on this. You guys can watch that if you want to. And I don't even know how much detail I'm going to get into. But basically, this is going to take care of part of that sag that I get, squat, whenever I load this up. What it does is it puts some metal in between here, so this spring gets loaded faster. So when these start to straighten out, as you put a load on it, it hits this overload spring right away. Like I said on my Q&A video, you know, there's nothing wrong with the stock suspension. It's just, it tries to ride as smooth as possible until, you know, you get it loaded up. Well, the thing is I don't want it to squat that much to be loaded. So this will allow it to load prior to all that squat. It should work out pretty good. Heidi, she did real well last night. She got me out of the porch area, which I was just relaxing, and we organized our bay area. We know that there's still some things we're going to change. For example, I was talking to her about eventually not carrying our big chairs in there, our big reclining chairs that we use when we're at the campground underneath the awning, just sitting out. We'll probably keep them in the back of the truck, but I'm glad that she got me out to do that. She goes, come on, let's not sit here. She goes, let's get something done. And we got rid of that one big tote that we had. So we've got 3 smaller totes in there. A little bit more organized all the way around. That's what we're doing. Let me get to work on this. Whew. Man, I'm glad I'm not a girly girl. I'm drilling leaf springs. I had to run up to the store because they didn't give me all the washers that I needed for my installation specifically. But man, these leaf springs, I got a porta power out here. These hot freaking shavings are coming down, and look at them. I mean, this is some serious shavings that are coming off when I'm drilling here. All this spaghetti. wonder if it's got to be magnetic. I'll get my magnet out here and clean this up. Yeah, that'll work. But yeah, that's something. So let me show you what I'm doing here. Using my porta power, using my legs to pump it up, and I'm drilling holes in the leaf spring. And this one's pretty much done. I got to go ahead and go to the front because they say don't go all the way through because it'll damage the bit. I'll just follow what they say. And yeah, getting a little bit closer to having this installed. That'll be nice. As far as where I'm going to install it, I hate that it would have to be on the outside, but I guess if these springs compressed all the way, the pack could hit the frame if it's not. So I might have to stick it on the outside here and then on the inside on the front one. I think it's going to look kind of dumb when it's not engaged, but oh well. That's what else are you going to do? Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. So let's get you guys caught up. I'm shooting this with the phone just to make things a little bit simpler. And I'm also testing out why all my footage from my phone disappeared. It doesn't make any sense to me. So basically, the next morning, today, and I got up, took off, went to my appointment at the Ford dealer, and it was as dumb as you might think it was. And that's basically them saying, oh yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that. We'll get some pictures and submit it to Ford. So I said, about how long will it take? They said, it'll be a little bit. Your appointment wasn't until 1. Well, I swear my appointment was at 10. 1 seems like such a late time, but okay. I walked up the street. I had breakfast real quick, and I walked back. And as I was walking back, I seen him pulling my truck outside. So went inside, and he says, yeah, I got pictures of it, and yeah, we're going to submit it to Ford, and we're going to have to order the part, and it'll be in tomorrow. I mean, are you serious? And he says, well, it won't be very long to install. Well, it wouldn't have been very long to install today. Come on, man. What do you expect would have happened when I showed up with the truck? And, you know, if you would have had a tail light that you had ordered, the worst thing you'd had to do is say, oh, well, 2017, 2018, 2019 F250 Super Duty, F350 Super Duty, we have an extra left tail light here. Like they're never going to use it in the next 10 years. Even if they don't, they could send it back. If they decided that, oh, he forced water in there, or it got broke, he broke it. Anyways, I'm getting really ticked off because I have more to tell you about that got me ticked off. So I left the dealer there. I have an appointment to go back tomorrow. What a surprise. And here's the funniest part about that. I told him, I said, yeah, with that much water in there, I said, I'm surprised my tail light hasn't burned out. This is what I told him before, you know, they took it in and looked at it. And he says, oh yeah, it's just a matter of time. You know, if that bulb gets hot and the water splashes up, I mean, the water's that high, it's that far away from the bulb. He says, yeah, it'd just shatter that bulb and you have to get a new. You would think they would have at least pulled the lens off or dumped the water out or something. And they didn't. So I thought, screw it. I'll leave it on there. Let it burn out. I mean, this is just common sense stuff to me, but let them figure it out. That's all on them. So I was driving away and I was talking about it on the phone, and I was covering this information because I decided that I'm done with the whole talking with Capstop over the phone. I thought I'd drive out there. I'm going to go out. I'm going to talk to Capstop, the place that I bought my cap, because I have a new problem that developed. And that problem is that not only, well, actually 2 problems. Not only do we still not have the bump stops that are all, you know, supposed to be glued all the way around the window to help keep it a certain distance away from the truck and to keep it from vibrating, but I noticed that the paint was gone where the glass has been hitting the fiberglass. The edge of the glass has been hitting the edge of the fiberglass. I'm thinking, well, it's probably because of the bump stops. So I decided to go ahead and crank it open and take a better look at how much it's been hitting. And as I'm cranking it open, this is the second time we've opened this window. This is the only second time since they put it in. As I crank it open, I see that the top is really loose. So I go to the driver's side or the passenger side and I open that one and it looks totally different. And that's because the hinge, there's 2 hinges that are on the top at least 2, maybe 3. It's unglued. It's the whatever they had adhering the glass to the hinge, it's gone now. So there's only, as far as I know, 2 points of contact that's holding the glass up in the window. Oh my God. So anyways, I decided to drive to the cap stop because my problem is I need this fixed because we're getting ready to leave on vacation shortly. And as far as them getting those bump stops, I figured that today being Monday, that they're going to want to work out what they can to get those things, because it's going on 3 weeks that we have not got those bump stops yet installed like they should have been done in the first place. So I drove out there because I've already emailed and called, and it's always, oh yeah, I'm going to have to get with them. I don't know where they're at. They should have been here by now. That kind of thing. And in the meantime, I've got TAG, Truck Accessory Group. Lear is under that umbrella. And the customer service rep, manager, he had in an email that, yeah, we sent those out. So apparently there's something going on there. I don't want to think the worst at this point, but I'm going to go out there and I'm just going to see. I'm going to, see what they got to say, because I'm tired of talking over the phone. And plus I have this problem that needs addressed, because the glass at any point could just fall out of the window. I mean, it's obviously not connected, correctly. Think about it. If your door on your house, you have 3 hinges. If one of the hinges is loose, what's the deal? Well, if you only have 2 hinges, how good is that? And this thing's hanging, kind of upside down on this truck. So very concerned. I drove out there and I got to their place, and there's a sign on the door. And that sign says they're on vacation until the 19th. What the hell? It's in the middle of the summer. I mean, I know they're probably trying to get a vacation in before kids have to go back to school or whatever, but still, who takes a vacation like that? That's just ridiculous. So some of the footage that was lost off this phone, you're probably glad, or I'm kind of glad. Man, I was just cussing up a storm. And I will have to say that basically the whole gist of that conversation that I had with the phone in my truck outside a cap stop after I drove all the way over there to talk to them with a problem on my cap was screw them. And I didn't say screw. And that's basically what I feel about them now. So you guys can take that to heart. You've seen the whole process. You've seen what I've had to go through, and they just have never really helped out. They've never followed through. I've always had to prod them to get stuff done. I called them with the glass shattered problem, and they're immediately quoting what's in their information from the dealer, and that is glass coverage isn't covered. Well, that's fine, but I'm telling you that this is kind of extenuating circumstances to some extent. Wouldn't you want to call the manufacturer, kind of go to bat for the customer and say, listen, I know that you guys don't normally cover glass breakage. However, the truck's hardly been driven, and the way he's telling me it's shattered seems really odd. It seems like an odd thing. You would think they would have done that, but nope. They just said, sorry, dealers, the manufacturer says glass breakage isn't covered. So once I called and got it to where they said that they were going to cover it, you would have thought that they would have interacted better, with the whole process. But they told me it's going to be 3 weeks until the window comes in. After 3 weeks, I have to call. And then all of a sudden, it's funny that I call, and then within a few days, they're saying it's going to be in. What? I just timed it perfect? You're telling me my call timed it to where that thing is in a warehouse and going to be shipped right away during the same day pretty much my call happened? No, that's not the case. Somebody dropped the ball somewhere, and they should have been following up. I mean, they have a customer with a broken window, and it didn't happen. Whoever failed it, I've got to go with the people that I interact with. I can't say that the manufacturer failed, because I'm not necessarily dealing with the manufacturer direct. It's me and the dealer. And I got that sense from the manufacturer, from Lear. Lear, I brought up the point that we were missing those bumpers off of the window. And the very first thing he said is, okay, I understand that, but why isn't the dealer telling me this? And that's a very good question. Why wasn't the dealer telling him this? I mean, we had already called them, told them that it was missing off of the window. And anyways, they're just failing. They're just failing. They're dropping the ball every single time. And now, after the manufacturer says that he has sent out these little bump stops, which are probably going to be in an envelope this big, from Indiana to Ohio, you know, after 3 weeks, you would think that without me calling, they would be following up saying, hey, where are those bump stops? They should have been coming in. I'll tell you what, if their paycheck was in that envelope with the bump stops, they wouldn't have waited 3 weeks to ask where in the hell it was. And it's because they just don't care. It's not pertinent to them. It's not going to make a difference to them. So now that I have this other problem, you know, surface, that is definitely 100% nobody else to blame but themselves at the cap stop. They didn't install it correctly. They did not install that new window correctly. And however it got sent out, however it was sent to them, however it was packaged it doesn't make a difference. They said, well, we installed the window, you know, they sent it complete. That's the way we installed it. I don't care. It's missing parts. And not only that, you didn't do a good installation. So I'm done with CapStop. So what I did then at that point was go to the persons that I probably should have went to initially. And here's the deal with that. Whenever you go on to Lear's site and you look at a cap and you say Lear dealers, you know, locate a Lear dealer. When I did that, a couple of places showed up, and the cap stop was one of them. The other place that showed up was in the opposite direction, and they came up number 2 on the list, probably because of distance. And I submitted, when I was buying the cap initially, quotes to both of those locations, and it just so happened that they contacted me first at the cap stop. Just pure coincidence. I don't know why, but they contacted me first. The other place then tried to contact me about 4 times, but at that point I had already went over to the cap stop. This place over here, it's called Valley Truck Outfitters. I called them up and I told them the whole story like I'm telling you. And they said, come on out, you know, let's see what we can do for you here. We want to get this taken care of for you. We'll take ownership of it, and I'm going to call, you know, they already knew everybody's name and everything they needed to talk to. They said, we'll call Lear, we'll talk to the customer service manager out there, and we'll see what we can do. And the reason is because CapStop's on vacation for a week, and I need this taken care of right away. So there's probably those little bump stops that need to be sent out again, because apparently they're just in La La Land. And not only that, but the window has to be mounted correctly. I can't do a 1,400 mile round trip with a window that's just back there. And, you know, when I'm driving, you can see it moving around and oscillating. Ever since we got it, because those bump stops aren't on there, it's not supported as well. Well, now that it's lost a hinge connection, I mean, it's really moving around back there. So got back to the house, and that's where this picks up on the video. I've got some footage of what we did with those stable loads and what they look like. Now that I'm back, I want to give you an update on the installation that I finished late last night, because battery-powered drills sometimes suck because they don't recharge real fast, and I was doing some heavy drilling. So this is what they look like. Of course, this one's inboard. And actually, I hate the way this one looks and the fact that mud and whatever else is going to get thrown up on there. However, I love that I can engage it so easily from this location. I mean, you just put a extension, a 3/8 extension on a ratchet, and it just twists it right into place. And then you put the pin, of course, back in. On this one here, you got to climb underneath. I did drive around with these things engaged, and there's still about that much of a gap before the spring hits. So we noticed it on bumps, but that was about it. Of course, whenever we get loaded up, that's going to be the tail of the tape, but I thought I'd give you an update on that so we can get this video posted and maybe close out the What You Doin' on this segment because the cap is just become a nightmare. So that's going to be for RV Daydream. What you doing? I'm done, and as always, hope to see you out there. Bye.